Hello everyone, Adam here and welcome to another gameplay review video. Today I've got a bit of a treat for everyone. I'm doing my 2,500 subscriber special and right off the bat I just want to say thanks to everyone who subscribed to my channel. It really means a lot to me and I like all the great feedback that everyone's been giving me, so I thank you very much. And first I'll just going to explain the idea behind this video. I've had it for ages. I wanted to visualize numbers, and I can visualize 10 in my head quite easily. I can just about visualize 100 like dots in my head in one go quite easily. But anything bigger than that, and it starts to get it starts to get something that's hard for people to visualize. So I was Googling how do you visualize numbers, and one of the things I came across was Total War Games. Total War Games are great for visualizing numbers, and here I've got 2,500 soldiers in the army here. So it's the same, the army is exactly the same size as my subscribers, the amount of subscribers I have when I make this video. Now, when I was Googling this about a year ago or something, I came across Pixelated Apollo's channel, and it's an amazing channel. I love watching it all the time, and he did a similar kind of video, and I thought, oh, I'd love to do a battle like that. So I thought I might as well film it. And I'm just want to go one step further with this video, and I'm going to try to use it to demonstrate how Roman armies would have fought. I think it's mostly the Second Punic War era of the Roman era, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's not going to be 100% accurate. It's mostly more fun than anything, but hopefully people will learn a few things from this. Also, they've got two balanced armies here. They're just slightly larger than the standard size armies. And I'm playing on very hard, and I've tried to handicap myself as much as possible, and I've done that by trying to be realistic in the sense that the Roman back line here is like my line in the sand. I'm not going to use these guys for fighting, so I'm already going to be being outnumbered by the army in the sense that I'm not going to be using these guys. But then, if everything goes wrong and these guys do end up fighting, you know, that's no longer a thing. So you know, and also, they've got a bit more cavalry than me, they've got a few more ranged troops than me, and I like to play as a defensive, normally like to play defensive and counter-attack, which is not going to be good against ranged units or cavalry that are going to be in and out and everywhere. So, you know, I've probably made it a little bit trickier for myself than it needs to be. But anyway, I'll quickly describe how I've laid the army out. I don't know if exactly how the Romans would have laid their armies out, but it plays to their strengths, and I know it's roughly going to be based on historical facts. So in the front line you've got Velites, and they're the sort of the guys who are skirmishers. They're going to be throwing stuff at the enemy as they come close, trying to distract them, and then they're just going to run away, basically. And no one's going to care that they're going to run away. It's not going to affect morale because they're designed to run away. You know, it's not a problem. They're new troops. They're not really well equipped. They're just trying to get in the battle, trying to play a part, trying to gain some experience. Okay, and then after these guys run away, or whatever happens to them, the next line you have is the Hastati, and the Hastati is kind of the main line, the main front line in the Roman army, and they're just going to kind of charge in or brace for an impact for cavalry, and they're just going to wear the enemy down. You know, they're not the worst troops, but again, they're not the best either. They're still not the best equipped or armoured soldiers that the Romans could have in the army. But again, it's not really their job to win the fight. It's their job to wear down the enemy, and in the meantime, your very main troops, the Principes, in the back here, these are the main crack troops. These are the main experienced, probably the best equipped, almost the best armoured. And it's their job to basically win the fight. And if these guys start to waver or shake or run away, then that's when you're gonna start to worry, okay? Because these are the main troops. And then at the back here, you've got the Triarii, who are actually even more experienced and the veterans of the army. But these guys, they think they've done their bit. They don't really want to fight. They've still got all that armor that they've sort of acquired across their lifetime. And you know, if things comes to worse, then they are going to join in. So, and at the other side of the Roman army, we have cavalry. The Roman cavalry is not amazing. It's mostly just sort of the wealthy Romans who want to have a bit of a fight, but don't want to get too, don't want to risk their lives too much. So they'll just buy a horse and they'll just charge around, sort of not really doing much damage, but distracting the enemy, trying to pull their cavalry away from the fight, or you know, trying to attack the backs of their lines just to distract, and so these guys can have personal glory. But in this army we have had a few extra points left over to make a nice Praetorian cavalry. So we have got some guys who are well disciplined, well armoured, well experienced, and if needs be we can use these as some serious shock cavalry. So let's start the simulation. And we've also got, just because I was about 90, no, it was like 70 men left over to make it 2,500, so I've got two lots of 30 guys here on the Scorpions here. They'll be the first to engage, just because of the range that they have. Normally I'd have these guys here, so you're trying to get them to attack the main part of your army, but if you have them at the flanks here, they can't really send too much in without it being harassed. And then I'll have cavalry split in half either side. With these Triarii, we'd have also be defending those, and it wouldn't be so much depth to my line necessarily. But this is what I kind of think plays more to the Romans, not just the way it's best for their tactics, but also the way they fought. It's a lot about morale, because again, like we said, if these guys run away, no one cares. It's an expectation. But if these guys or these guys are at the front lines and they run away, it's going to scare all of the new recruits and the younger soldiers. They're going to be like, well, our best troops, they just ran away. What the hell are we supposed to do? You know. So it's all about using a mental tactics as well as just the practical ones. You'll see in the enemies. There's quite a lot of heavy infantry in here, even though I'm trying to play to my army's infantry strength, so that's it could be a bit of a problem. But I guess we'll find out, shall we? The armies are going to engage very shortly. There's the Scorpions already firing. They're just breaking up the formation slightly, taking a few of their troops out, but they're not really going to be very decisive at all in this match. The cavalry's coming in, but the Romans are well disciplined, and instead of breaking a sweat, they're just going to neatly reform just to try and take an impact from this cavalry. And it's always the best part of the battle, I think, when the first lines are just coming into form to make contact, and you see how it plays out. Normally I'd try and pause the match or go into slow motion and micromanage everything perfectly, but I'm just trying to play it at normal speed and hope that the way that the army's formed up is going to just be good enough to help win the battle. You see these Velites, they run straight past them, now the Hastatus, they're just charging in the last second, they're attempting to. Sadly, these Velites, they get hit quite bad with the cavalry and they're going to run off for now. But the other group's going to form up behind and they're just going to carry on throwing their javelins in support. Normally I'd move these Principes just in front of the Scorpion before these guys charge if I was doing a campaign. But since this is a one-off battle, we're just trying to get the most out of everything we can, so just let everyone get into hand combat. They can take the charge and the momentum out of it. The Principes counter charge, that's quite effective.
Advance! Fire on the enemy! Yes, Commander!
So I'm still being harassed by the cavalry, but I'm hoping with all the shields and all of their training and discipline, they're just going to hold out long enough for some of my troops to be more freed up on either flank. I'm moving my general because I'm worried just about the morale of these troops are starting to dip quite a lot faster than the rest of the army, so I'm just going to move these over so you can see the generals there to support them. Fortunately, I have kind of, their cavalry's kind of winded themselves a couple of times, and I'm able to move my cavalry around a couple of effective strikes, which is quite rare for early in the battle when playing as Romans. You can see already these Hastatus are wavering and they're going to run away very shortly. So I'm pretty sure I'm moving in some Principes to, I think these guys. I wanted to move those guys in there, but the cavalry charged, so I'm just having to wait slightly longer. And I'm decided, you know, I'm going to throw myself in there and just going to help these guys out for a second, because that's a bit unfair. I would have, by that time, I would have swapped it. And instead I'm actually moving Principes from the centre all the way over here, because these are starting, they're going to run away in a second, but if they run away without anything here, this part of their army is going to be able to attack from behind. And also, this gives the chance for the starter to not be totally destroyed. They're going to be left to fight another day, and hopefully one day these guys will end up as Principes. Again, you can see these Velites, they look like they were running away at the start, but actually they're just repositioning themselves, and they can be quite effective. Sadly, again, because I'm not pausing it very often, I'd normally be pausing it and using the Velite to focus down individual groups, but I'm not. I'm just kind of letting them do their own thing. Which shows the flexibility again in the Roman army. If you have the opportunity to use your troops very specifically for the right moment at the right time, they're very decisive. But if you just leave them to their own, their own kind of ideas, they can still hold their own in most situations.
Fire on the enemy!
You see the Triarii still haven't moved at all. They're still happy to watch. And the cavalry, I've got another good couple of hits, but I'm not moving them or ordering them around fast enough, so they've got to split up, and they're staying in melee combat a little bit too long, so they're losing a few numbers too, but they're still doing very well. I'm surprised how well that they've done so far. The cavalry has attacked my Triarii from behind, and normally very well disciplined, they'll just stand there and take it, but they're getting annoyed, they're like, sorry, and we're not going to let you just do that to us, so we're going to use our spears. It's very effective against the cavalry, so it wasn't a great move by them really.
Riders advance!
And by them I mean the AI, so sometimes the AI can do some things which is extremely you don't expect, and it's very hard to counter, and sometimes they just do things which are just a bit stupid really.
Advance at
A
speed!
little tap there to throw the general back in. Every little charge helps, but you don't want to risk your general too much, because losing a general will absolutely destroy the morale of your army. And there's already parts where I'm concerned. My line's getting very thin here.
As you command!
Very thin here, but fortunately, because when you have the army instead of a single line, if you have it scattered, the enemy will clump up trying to push through you, and they won't be able to make necessarily a decisive move in any direction. They turn into a bit of a slump, and you can see, as a result, pretty much all of their troops are committed at some stage, whereas these Triarii here, who are very, very effective troops and can hold their own against almost the whole army sometimes, they're still fresh and eager, and if they do manage to even break through and destroy all of these troops, probably at this stage the Triarii can take care of the rest. But again, these guys, they're looking forward to retiring. They're more than happy to sit back and for the most part watch the younger troops take care of this battle. And I'm in a great position now to be able to throw my cavalry into the rears of the enemy, which is very good at this stage, as we've got some Velites who shouldn't really be in prolonged melee. They're going to break any moment, and even the Praetorians, they've had enough too. But fortunately, the cavalry was literally right there at the right time, as is the cliche. And so, also, I've thrown in some more Velites. They've run out of javelins, so it's not going to be much of a sacrifice just to lose a few of them, keeping that part of the line intact. And their left flank has now broken, which is exactly what I wanted. So now my right flank can just wheel through and just take care of what's left of their army, and just hoping that the rest of it holds. However, they've snuck in. I totally didn't see these guys sneak in the back of my Velites, which is the worst thing I could ever imagine, really, for me to allow to happen. And even the Triarii aren't going to have that, so they're going to charge and be like, sorry guys, that's a little bit over the top, you charging the back of them like that. And this is why the Roman army has taught me so much in playing games like Total Wars, because normally I'll overcommit troops. If I see there's a situation where I can just destroy the enemy, I'll do it. But the Romans, they sit back, and as a result, you've got men freed up at the right time. These Principes, they're going to want to come and relieve the Triarii. They know the Triarii shouldn't really be in the fights, but they've seen the situation here where they're sure they can get these guys to run away within seconds, or if not a minute or two. And then they can come and relieve the Triarii, because they don't want to be shouted at in the afternoon saying, look, you guys, we shouldn't have got involved there. They're not going to be happy with them. The Roman army is very dynamic, and you can imagine that all the troops, shoulder to shoulder, they know each other very, very well inside out. And ultimately they've also got to live together. As you can see, the line in the sand is still almost held. the very centre hasn't even been into proper combat or anything, so it just shows how effective the Roman tactics can be, considering we were an equally matched army. And you know, I made quite a few changes to the way I portray fights, and I thought it was going to make it harder, but it seems to have actually made the fight easier. So there we go. Hopefully you guys learned something about the Romans, while I just clear up what's left of them. Oh, I've just noticed there is a couple of little charges going on at the back here. I didn't actually notice when I was playing. I think I got so excited about just one that I stopped paying attention. It was a very good of me. Yeah, if you're getting quite close in this game, you can see that you know, it's very good graphically, even though it's not quite as, I don't think it's realistic as far as the battles are fought, as far as like Medieval 2 is concerned. But still, I think this is a really fun game to play. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Thank you very much. There we go, looking at good timing, and see you later. Wait, unless you want to see the, maybe you want to see this.